Good evening, everybody. I'll call the meeting to order for the Oxnard City Council Community Services, Public Safety, Housing and Development Committee at 6:45 on June 8th, 2021. And Madam Clerk, if we can have the roll call and then posting of the agenda, please.
Mayor Zaragoza,
Here.
Councilmember Madrigal,
Here.
Chair McDonald.
Here.
The posting of the agenda for tonight's meeting was placed outside City Hall in the kiosk outside of Council Chambers on June 1st, 2021. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And Mayor, if you'd be so kind as to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
It'll be an honor. Thank you. Please follow me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That takes us to item number B, or letter B, public comments on items not on the agenda, and we have no requests from speakers tonight. So from there, we'll move to info consent. And item number 1, the City Clerk's Department presentation and approval of the minutes. Have the members had a chance to review the minutes? Any additions or changes? If none, what's the pleasure of the committee?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, Madam Clerk, we have a motion by the mayor and a second by Councilmember Madrigal. Roll call, please.
Mayor Zaragoza,
Yes.
Councilmember Madrigal,
Yes.
Chair McDonald, Chair McDonald.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 3-0.
Sorry, I'm still trying to get used to technology here. It's only been a year and a half, but. Okay, that will take us to item D1, Community Development Department. Subject is City of Oxnard participation in Clean Power Alliance Power Ready Program, parentheses, solar and battery backup for the building located at 214 South C Street, the Oxnard Service Center. And the recommendation is that the Community Services, Public Safety, Housing and Development Committee support the city's continued evaluation of participation in the Clean Power Alliance Power Ready Program for the installation of solar rooftop, photovoltaic and battery storage to support building operations at 214 South C Street, also known as the Service Center. And there was a pre-recorded video pursuant to Measure M that was on YouTube. There won't be any presentation tonight, but staff is present if there are any questions that need answering or any clarification. And although it shows Vito Automitis as the presenter, I don't know, Vito, if you're going to do it or if Miss Mallory is going to do it.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Miss Mallory will be handling this item.
Thank you. Mallory, it's all yours.
Thank you. Vito. We have also on the at the meeting this evening, we have Jack Clark, who's the Director of Customer Programs. Nice to put a face with the many emails. And so we're both available to answer questions that you have regarding this item.
Thank you. Do the committee members have any questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I just want to note, that the CPA installation and storage system is a critical backup emergency power for the city, which I think is really important. And also that the installation and maintenance operations are at no cost to the city. And also that it's going to keep the city monthly bills neutral, which I think is pretty significant, for all of us, I just want to share those points that I think are excellent points.
Okay. Thank you. Maybe we get the IT folks to crank up your microphone a little bit. You're just barely audible.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you a little bit better. It's still a little bit low.
Okay, let me back up a little bit. What I mentioned initially, is that the installation of that facility is really great for backup or emergency power, and also that the installation and operations is going to be at no cost to the city, and also that it's going to keep the city monthly bills at cost neutral.
Okay,
Of course, there's other significant parts here too, but those are highlights I'd like to point out.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Thank you very much for the comments. That was much better. Councilmember Madrigal, any questions or comments?
No questions. This is great for the future of the city. So thank you.
Okay. I don't have any particular comments, so what would be the pleasure of the committee?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, Madam Clerk, we have a motion and support by Mayor Zaragoza, a second by Councilmember Madrigal. Can you do a roll call, please?
Chair McDonald,
Yes.
Councilmember Madrigal,
Yes.
Mayor Zaragoza.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 3-0.
Okay, thank you very much. That takes us to item number 2, Cultural and Community Services Department. Subject is agreement with the Hueneme School District for the operations of the after-school educational and safety program, also known as ASES, in fiscal year 2021-22 and fiscal year 2022-23 and fiscal year 2023-24. And the recommendation is that the Community Services, Public Safety, Housing, and Development Committee recommend that council approve and authorize the mayor to execute the partnership agreement, paren A-8336, close parens, and memorandum of understanding A-8337 with the Hueneme Elementary School District, HESD for short, for the city of Oxnard to receive the total amount of $3,159,896 to provide services under the California After School Safe Education and Safety Program at 10 HESD schools during fiscal year 21-22, 22-23, and 23-24. And again, pursuant to Measure M, there was a pre-recorded presentation available on YouTube. There won't be any presentation by staff tonight, but staff is available if there are any questions. Does this committee have any questions or comments?
I'd also like to again thank the staff. This is going to serve, and I'm probably preaching to the choir, but 1,000 Oxnard students, which is really important, and also employing 70 individuals between the ages of 18 and 15 years of age, and it's going to probably take a lot of latchkey kids. That is really important to. Terrell, do you want to add any more to that? I think this really educational literacy is a really important part of it, and also the other community involvement services programs, that you're going to put together. You want to share some more information on that?
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor. You hit the nail on the head. We were able to employ young people. The majority of them are college students between the ages of 18 and 24. We have over 1,000 kids in the program, and we're serving at 10 schools for the Hueneme school districts, 2 of them being junior highs.
And Mr. Mayor, Mr. Chair, I'd also like to share that one of the things that you mentioned here is that 1,500 to 2,000 parents are also involved in the after-school program, which I think is really significant, so keeps the kids off the streets and occupied,
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Madrigal, any comments?
Real quickly, I know I might come up in the future if it does come up on council. I'll kind of go ahead and give this statement because someone might ask why we are helping the Hueneme School District. The Hueneme School District serves all students south of Channel Islands Boulevard. So that is a large part of Oxnard residents, and I believe it's west of Rose Avenue. So it does serve a great need for South Oxnard, and it's great for parents, working, and it's great for the kids because not only somewhere for them to go, but it's somewhere for them to interact, and they see the employees as role models, something that it's a very positive thing all the way around. So thank you.
Thanks, sir. And I will just repeat comments I've made previously about these types of programs. Is it shows our younger people that there are other career paths to follow besides what we think are the traditional career paths. And really the educational element of our community is probably the most important for the development of the future leaders of tomorrow, to get them involved in a program and help them move forward. So I strongly support this program, and I would move the recommended action.
I'll second.
Second. Mr. Chair, I think something really important I'd like to share, and I've talked to Terrell about this, the community involvement and services, learning programs, the cleanup program, the downtown Christmas parade, the Young Authors Fair, the Kiwanis Track Meet, June Jamboree. My grandson just going to the university, and this is some of the things that they asked them, have you done any community work, any community projects? And this is really good for our youth resumes, which are really, really important, Mr. Chair. So I just wanted to share that too.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Madam Clerk, I made the motion and Councilman Montigal made the second. Can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Mayor Zaragoza,
Yes.
Councilmember Madrigal,
Yes.
Chair McDonald.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 3-0.
Okay, takes us to item number 3, Community Development Department, Oxnard Permits Simplicity Act Implementation Report. Again, pursuant to Measure M, there was an online video on YouTube, so staff will not make a presentation tonight, but they are available for questions if we have any. And the recommendation here is that the Community Services, Public Safety, Housing, and Development Committee receive a report and provide input on the implementation of the Oxnard Permits Simplicity Act. And Vito, I'm not sure if you or Mr. Pengilly are going to do this.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Pengilly will be handling this item.
It's all your show, Mr. Pengilly. Of course, I guess we have to give you some questions for it to be your show, but
Yeah, don't give me an open mic.
Mayor, any questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I think, that they call it a simplicity program, but reading it, some of the requirements is that not all projects are accepted. Some are going to fail. They have to comply with the requirements for the program. And of course, if they fail that program, they can appeal to the committee. The other thing that I think is really important is that that people are going to require a simplicity training program, which I think is really important, because if they fail that final exam, they can again go for more training. And so it's called simplicity, but I think a lot of the concerns that the people have is that people can just call up and they're going to get a permit. But I think that staff has done an excellent job here by pointing out that they're going to have an outreach program and also a comprehensive program to guide individuals to be able to submit their checklist, and of course it's going to be audited and so forth. So and again, all the programs are going to be posted on the city website, which I think is really important.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember, any questions or comments?
No questions. Just thank you for all the hard work that went into building this new program.
Thanks, sir. I guess my only comment is going to be, and I keep hearing people talk about self-certifying for their permits, and that always leaves me with a little bit of pause, thinking that, gee, if someone self-certifies and there's something wrong with it, then where does the liability fall on the person that's self-certified or on the city for approving the self-certification? So I don't know if either of you have a response to that particular concern.
Chair McDonald, yeah, it's a concern that I've heard as well. There is a requirement of the program, in addition to the pre-qualifications and the training, et cetera, licensure by the state. There is a requirement that they hold $1 million of liability insurance, and that's intended, I think, to address this concern. It could be a barrier to some coming in, getting into the program. But that insurance has to be held per this act for 5 years after the project is completed. So there are some mitigations there. I can't answer the legalities of if that's an adequate amount of insurance, if the city is covered or not. It's basically professional liability insurance. And the same concerns you've expressed, I've heard raised by others in the industry as well.
Thank you. And with that insurance, do we put a requirement on the insurance binder that should the insurance be canceled, they're required to notify the city of that cancellation?
Yeah, that's stipulated in the act. That was another concern that we had immediately, but that was covered by the act and now the ordinance, that there's nothing that prohibits them from canceling their insurance, but it has to be notarized on the insurance that they have to notify us 30 days before cancellation. If they do cancel the insurance, we have the right to revoke their permits. So that doesn't necessarily solve the potential liability problems, but it provides a barrier for them to want to try to do that.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's all my questions. There are no further questions. What would be the pleasure of the committee?
Move approval.
Second.
Hey, Madam Clerk, we have a motion by the mayor of the recommended action, a second by Councilmember Madrigal. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Madrigal,
Yes.
Chair McDonald,
Yes.
Mayor Zaragoza.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 3-0.
Okay, thank you very much. That takes us to item E, items for future agenda. Do any of the members have requests for future agenda items? Seeing none, that will take us to item F. If there's no objection, we will declare this meeting completed and we will adjourn. Thank you all very much. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.